Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. So this week we are just going to walk through everything that I'm having today. Very simple meals, very staple meals. I am doing no waste food meals because that's just basically what I've been doing. Just looking to see what I need to use up. I don't want to waste anything, so I'm just creating meals from that. I had one huge big bag of sweet potatoes that I had to get through, so I had to cook them all up, and I decided to make many meals out of that. And then I also made a dessert, which I will do in the next video just because it's going to be too long if I put it into this one. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Very, very simple eating. And again, just using what I already have just to decrease the food budget and just to basically not waste any food and not have to worry also about running to the store to pick up different ingredients. I'm going to use what I already have. So let's get into it. Okay guys, so for breakfast I'm having a quick and easy smoothie. I'm using up what I need to grab from the freezer just to make more room in there. So I had pineapple that I had to use up. I also had a little bit of a dragon fruit mix, and that's just like a President's Choice mix that's actually really, really good. And when I find it, I always buy it. But I had like little bits in bags in the freezer, so I'm just using all of that up. And then I also had strawberries that I had to use up, so I popped that in. And I like to add a greens powder for extra nutrition, and there's spirulina and barley grass powder in there, and that's super nutritious and healthy, and I always opt to have a little bit of that in all my smoothies. So for lunch, I had some baby Brussels sprouts that are frozen. These are always in the freezer on hand. And I also had a mixed veggie mix with broccoli, carrots, and cauliflower. So I'm using all of that up. I just saute it with water on a frying pan and add my seasonings of choice. And then I just put it with starch. And on this day, it was rice with a little bit of tamari. And that is a very staple and common meal in my home. And the veggies we can have for later with the extra rice from the Instant Pot. So for a snack, I decided to have a green smoothie bowl, and it's just loaded with different greens that I had to use up and some greens from the garden. So I have kale and spinach in here, and then I also topped it with some coconut and some cacao nibs, and I also added a little bit of pineapple that I had frozen that had to be used up as well. So every day I walk during the nice months of the year. This is a short period of time for me where I can connect with nature and be outdoors a lot. So I try to get as many steps as possible in. So my 10,000 steps is a minimum daily, but usually I'm exceeding that and I'm at like 15,000 easily because I'm connecting with nature every single day and I'm taking my long walks, and sometimes I'll take more than one walk as well during the day. So I have a whole bag of sweet potatoes that are starting to sprout just because they have been in the heat. We don't have the AC on, just fans, so it's gonna happen. So I just have a whole bunch that I'm washing. I'm gonna bake some, and then I'm also gonna chop some and also bake it, but I'm gonna do it with maple and, you know, some yummy herbs. So I am gonna bake a couple just to have on hand because I do want to make a dessert with it. And then I'm gonna cut some in cubes and also bake it in just a regular dish. And that is gonna be with some maple. And that's pretty much it. Just trying to use up what I have because the heat is not letting me keep things in large quantities anymore. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I just peeled them. I'm gonna rinse them again and then chop them up. And yeah, most of them are actually in pretty good condition. I was really worried because I thought, oh God, I'm gonna lose a lot of it, but they're pretty good. So I throw all of this stuff in my organic bin. I'm fortunate that Toronto has an organic bin system and they come and pick up your organic waste. And then you can go ahead and get soil if you want to later on from the city. But that's what I do. None of this goes into the garbage. I know depending on where you live, it's the norm to throw this stuff in the garbage. You can actually make amazing soil with all these food scraps. And if you can do a compost pile in your backyard, then, you know, even better. But I don't have the space for that. So I just use my city's organic waste collection and put that all in. And then certain scraps I will keep in the freezer so that I can make stock. But stuff like this will go in the compost. pure maple syrup directly from a farm that we know, and I'm just going to drizzle that on top. And I just want that caramelization to happen. If you want to add more, you could add more if you're making it at home. I'm just going to do a light drizzle, and then I'm going to add a little bit of cinnamon. I don't have nutmeg. If I had nutmeg, I would definitely put that on. If I had pumpkin spice, I would definitely put that on. This is typically something that I would make in the fall months, but I want something with substance to put on some salads since I have so much kale growing in the backyard and I need something to top my salads with. So this is what we're going to do. Okay, so I just drizzled some on, and then I'm going to give that a mix and add my cinnamon and pop it into the oven. I have it at 400 degrees. I'm going to be baking those 2 potatoes as well, and then giving this a mix every so often. So I'm going to go work in the garden for a bit while this cooks up. And even though it's going to heat up the house tremendously, I can eat this on a few different meals and keep those meals kind of cool and salad-like light meals. And you know, just had to heat up the house once, and I'm able to cook all the sweet potatoes, and that is pretty much it. Summertime life. Okay guys, so that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Here are what my sweet potatoes turned out to look like. The maple glazed yumminess. They were super delicious and turned out perfect. I like to add them to my salads and to bulk up other meals that are lower in calorie density. That way I'll feel a lot fuller. So on my salads, I will add a little bit of the sweet potato just to bulk it up. And on this day I had spinach and I had some carrots and some microgreens. That way I could eat a variety and feel really full with my sweet potatoes. And I tried to eat a rainbow throughout the day, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I made my own dressing to go on top of it, and that is pretty simple cooking and no fuss and no waste. So I hope you enjoyed this week's video. So I hope you got some inspiration for some no waste meals at your home. Take care everyone, health, joy, and positive vibes to each and every one of you, and I will see you in the next video.